Good afternoon, y'all, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48's World, where we do Celebrity Corner. I had tried to stay away from this story. It was just breaking here, there, everywhere. It first came out with, I'm sorry, the story I'm covering today is going to be on Joseline and Stevie J. First she was saying, they were married, they good, they just separated. Then you have Stevie out there saying they not married. It was all a hoax. She wanted to be, married, but he couldn't give her his last name. And oh my God, there's so many different stories floating out there. And I was like, okay, let have it. Might be a publicity stunt. They're just trying to drum up more airtime for themselves to keep themselves relevant. Because, I was wondering were they going to have like a Steven and Jocelyn Go to Hollywood Part 2 or rename the Hollywood and put Atlanta Part 2 where it just be showing them cutting up. Because like I said, when they put these two people together, they had a hit formula. So I don't know why Mona, if Mona is behind this debacleness, fakeness, scripted stuff, and all of it's just one big lie they trying to feed us. Then that's one thing. Okay, I'm not here for it still, because give me some stuff where I can digress from the real world and get my little kikis and chuckles here and there. And, I'm just laughing with everybody and not at one particular person cutting up. And trying to get them together straight in my mind. But I was like, no, I'm not going to touch this stuff, this stuff with the media because the media always report little bits and things and stuff of that nature. But then when I heard about this incident with Jocelyn, she had already proved her innocence with taking a polygraph test to determine whether Steve was pansexual or just a whole lot of other stuff that she wanted to prove about Stevie. Um, can't think of why she really wanted to do the polygraph. Shantae, why did she do the polygraph on Stevie again? Oh yeah, about being gay and pansexual and all this stuff. And a lot of times, what do you call it? Polygraphs can be tricked into giving you a true passing score if you know how to manipulate and keep your body temperature and body language down to a minimum. It's possible that you could cheat a polygraph test. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, going to a third party type contractual polygraph organization that does it. I mean, she paid her own coin. She filmed pretty much all of what she could film besides being like in the room when they're actually administering the test. So I give her all kudos for that because she was at least producing receipts. And I gave you at the first part of my presentation for this little piece I'm doing on them too. Allegations of being married, what was shown, her polygraph report, what she had said about Stevie, was a devil worshiper and, just a lot of other stuff. And I had to go look in his archive of pictures. And, they always say when you throw up the Baphomet sign, which is like a rocker type finger. Um, Symbol that you throw up, and he's not a rocker, he's not part of a rock band. So I'm like, okay, you go through the Illuminati type synopsis and scenarios, the duality with the white and black, their main colors being sacrificial colors being red, black, and white. You see a lot of that in the entertainment industry. A lot of people, doing gay things, but yet calling themselves straight. Undercover download people, I guess you would want to say, throwing up the pyramid signs. I mean, you got to really go and research MK Ultra, the whole entertainment business, the whole thing about having your masters and them putting it in some room and conjuring up all these demonic spirits and stuff. I mean, you really have to do your research to try to understand and try to put the pieces together for yourself. But what was just telltale disturbing, because really they've done a lot of debauchery type acts and a lot of acts against God. You got to watch people that do blatant what do you call it, outrageous things that would be appalled or looked in the eyes of the Lord as total dishonoring Him altogether. You know, if you go with somebody and they, participating in, animal sex rituals, or, misogynist type stuff, or having threesomes, just real outrageous, outlandish types of sexual acts that you really shouldn't be partaking of, and they're wearing crosses, then they're not Christian people. They're not true God followers, because you can't do that. And then I just have a whole thing with wearing crosses anyway, because that's not a way I want to remember my Lord and Savior, because He was crucified. He died on a horrendous death for saving of our souls, for people that believed in Him and the Father that sent Him. So God doesn't go by any symbols. So, I was a cross wearing type person, and, I had to think about that thing and do some research and stuff of that nature. And I was like, no, God does not have symbols. If when you see somebody loving, and it's like, would Jesus have done that, or Yeshua would have done that, anything that's honoring Him, you can't put a lot of symbols, because we do not know what the Lord looks like. We don't know if He's white, black, Caucasian. We give inference in the Bible saying, His hair is like wool, His feet are like clay, and you can make a reference that, yeah, that's a black man. But then again, you have, glowing light, that you can't even take in, because, you would go blind, looking like a lion. You just don't know per se. And the Bible pretty much has been tampered with, especially the King James Version. And I could just go on and on and on, but that's not why I'm bringing this celebrity thing. I'm just mixing little bits and pieces of what I kind of read and had to do some research myself. So do your due diligence. Research this stuff. Don't always believe what the media puts in there. And, because it is some truth in what they do say, but it's a lot of false stuff that's put around it to have a sensationalist type story. But just getting into a little piece of some stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. Excuse me. You can catch it on Life and Style Weekly magazine. Author by the name of Allison Kashik, or Cacich. She did something. It's on Gossip. It's on the Shade Room. This story has hit everywhere. Probably on CNN before it's over with. But anyway, I'm going to read from realcoolvideos.com. It says, pregnant Joseline calls estranged husband a child molester as a nanny comes forward and says, of course, the nanny is allegedly Mimi's false niece. She was supposed to be more than likely caring for baby Eva for the last 2 years, I believe, from what I read. And just because she had some run-ins with the law, possibly carrying drugs in her car that Mimi Foss had bought her outright to be able to take little Eva to and from, events into school. She got pulled over for drugs, and that was pretty much like the last straw she had of her niece, because she had did other things in the past, like allegedly. Mimi said that she had stole her credit cards or card, and she used it for gym membership purposes and stuff of that nature. So I'm like, okay, she's trying to get her body in shape, but that don't sound too kosher either. You know what I'm saying? It's a little some of that story missing there. And then what else had happened? She had called herself when Mimi was out doing an award show or somewhere out of town. I'm not really sure. I guess the girl was throwing wild parties or whatever, and she burnt up some of her furniture. So I don't know if it was like, she just had a wild party and people just kind of got, carried away, or maybe she was doing drugs in her house. All this stuff is just really allegedly, because you're having one story pitted against the other. You're having the niece getting fired, and allegedly she's going on telling all these things about what Mimi does in the comfort of her home, and how Stevie does with little baby Eva. Eva having red spots between her legs, like maybe being traumatized in some form or fashion, like molestation. It's just a lot of hearsay, not enough stuff being accurately put out there. And if anything, I would like to have all of them investigated, because if in fact Miss Little Eva done got molested by Stevie allegedly, or any other family member, I'm gonna need Mimi, Joseline, Stevie J, the niece, which her name I think allegedly is Lena James, and any other party that knew about this. They all need to go to jail. And then, Yeshua would take care of them, Yahweh, and they can burn the rest of their lives in hell. Because that is something that's going to follow that little girl, allegedly, if it happened. It's going to follow her from she's going to be thinking it's a nightmare, but she could have got MK Ultra, mind controlled, and then they could have had their ways with her. But then she was feeling some kind of way after being unhypnotized or whatnot. She's going to have that ill feeling to go with her for the rest of her life, because psychologists can try to get you on the road to having a successful uh, professional life, be it you're doing your own business or you're working for someone else, and trying to get you geared to having appropriate relationship with a man or woman, whichever she chooses, um, when she comes out with her sexuality or what she identifies with. It's just going to be a problem for her, because she's either going to have nightmares that this actually happened to her. She's going to have footage of this stuff being rampant through the social media. It's going to be archived. Kids are ruthless at this time. They're going to probably be telling her anyway, did your daddy molest you? Did you do that? She's going to be always fragile in that area. And if, like I said, if any of that's true, all should be whooped the crack of their asses. They should be definitely sentenced to the harshest possible sentence that should be given. And then, like I say, Yeshua and Yahweh will take care of the rest with their soul, their spirit. You know what I'm saying? But just to give you a little history on it, it's just like it's saying, pregnant Joseline Hernandez calls estranged husband a child molester as a nanny comes forward and says, the Joseline and Stevie J saga just took a dramatic and potential criminal turn as the Puerto Rican princess publicly accused her estranged husband of being a child molester. Music producer and father of five, Stevie J has been accused by Joseline of abusing his 6-year-old daughter, Eva Giselle Jordan, whose mother is fellow reality star Mimi Fox. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta star Joseline Hernandez sent social media into her frenzy early this week when she shared a photo of what appeared to be a baby bump. The 29-year-old confirmed on Wednesday that she is indeed pregnant with husband, estranged husband Stevie J's child. Viewers of the Ratchet reality show will know that Joseline has previously been pregnant with Stevie's baby but had a termination. Yes, we already knew that. She was very upfront with that information, and she pretty much filmed it as well. And I left in the comments the little Twitter rant she went on under her page that y'all can view and see her getting Stevie straight, and telling him that he don't believe in God, he's a devil worshiper, he's a child molester. um he fantasized sleeping with his older daughters and all kinds of debauchery, just sick type of stuff, that she's saying about him. And she's saying if she has a boy or little girl, he would never see them, which, yes, that's quite fitting. But I don't know where you would be, Jocelyn, because if you had all this foreknown knowledge, you should be in jail as well. So raising your child while you're sentenced away. Because I mean, I was there for you and Stevie, with all y'all little antics, because y'all were made, by the media in a sense, and y'all made a good couple. You had a very good, successful run on that Hollywood sitcom with you and Stevie out in Hollywood doing y'all thing, and then you came back. And I don't know if it was just greed or publicity that grew y'all apart. I said, because, if y'all have all this money, I haven't seen no house that you own out, like, out stock and on the barrel or whatever they say it is. And I don't see Stevie having anything that's his. It seems like both of y'all have nothing but rental stuff. and you all don't own anything. So that is a pretty bad shame that I'm putting on y'all, because I had put y'all, to be doing better, being doing things with your careers and stuff. And, not necessarily saying everything y'all do is on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? That it's true. Because, it's entertainment. It's supposed to be somewhat true because it's a reality show. It's supposed to mirror what you actually do in a daily basis or on a daily basis within your lives. But, we know stuff is fraudulent. And with Mona Scott Young doing this, she's always having a little scripted in stuff, to make herself and her productions relevant and, believable. But right now it's just too much. And y'all are just acting too much in the media with all this foolishness. Now, like I said, if anything comes out of it that's true and the baby girl is being hurt, I want all of you all to pay. And Mona Scott, if she had any type of dealings with that foreknowledge as well. And they need to shut down the whole what do you call it, Love and Hip Hop series, because that's just too much. I've never been a fond player of having kids unless you're on kid shows, you know what I'm saying, and it's a kid audience. But just to mix little kids in their formative years into this whole Hollywood scene, and you're being filmed on TV and this, that, and that, that's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. And, I hear that you have a story, meaning Stevie J, not a story, but another sitcom coming out talking about Stevie J and his family. I'm like, okay, this is a hot mess. Here we go again. We already had some issues before with Savannah, his child from another marriage or a relationship. She was all up here, doing this and that. That's just doing too much. That's doing too much. If you want to have it showing the business side of the careers of other artists and who you're working with, that's fine. But it should be nothing in there talking about no family members, because now they're saying that your daddy allegedly is a child molester. Okay? I'm confused. I'm not understanding this. I'm like, if I go pull records, will I find your daddy under, being arrested for this type of behavior? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. So I'm like, Joseline, I had to beat you over the head too, because if you knew about this and you kept quiet, you're just as a party to it as well. So, anyway, we go on when Joseline is saying she went public with her pregnancy. Stevie J has denied that the baby Joseline is carrying is his. Love and Hip Hop fans have recently seen Stevie J and Joseline going through marital problems on the show. Joseline admitted that the two have not been sleeping in the same bed, while Stevie J confessed that the two were never legally married. However, in a shocking Twitter rant, the brunette beauty blasted the 44-year-old musician, calling him a worthless son of a, beehive. That's my friendly word to it, who worships the devil and has had sexual fantasies about his daughter. And she definitely has come out in the past to say, Stevie, he does a lot of crazy sexual stuff. He's pansexual. He has sex with men. He has sex with women. He probably animals at this time, allegedly. I don't know. But like I said, to each his own. But when you start messing with little kids, they can't say no, that they don't want that to happen to them or whatever, then that's a problem. That's a serious criminal act that need to be dealt with swiftly and professionally. Okay. Then she goes on to claim that the DNA test don't lie. You are the dad of this baby, but thank God you're disclaiming the baby, Joseline wrote on Twitter. We don't want your last name. Your family is sick. Your dad is a child molester, and so are you. The VH1 started adding, me and my baby and I will have a better life without you in it. Now go run along and stop knocking on my door and calling me at 5 a.m. after you're beginning high all night. Now, I thought Stevie had that under control. Now, if he's doing weed, maybe for medicinal purposes. But if you're doing cocaine, heroin, all that, that's a problem. That's a problem, Stevie. Then we have Joseline pregnancy will definitely come as a shock to fans, given her recent comments about children. I do love kids. I do want kids, and I am going to have some, but I feel like a kid myself, too. She explains in an interview. So I'm not ready for kids because I feel so young. Her estranged husband, Stevie J, has 5 children: Doran, Sade, Savannah, Stevie Jr., and Eva Jordan. All the people I had problems with that didn't really sit well with me being on the show because they were just too transparent of what they wanted to get into, which was the Hollywood lifestyle, which they should be running full throttle away from it. Get their academic career on the go, get something professionalism going, get their own business, and be bosses that way. The Hollywood scene should not be for them, and I just don't understand why Steve is dragging all of them in there. You know, because Dorian's old enough to know, but he does present himself a little better than Savannah. And I didn't really too much have anything to say about Sade. And again, Eve was just too much being in the media as well. And then look, we already got an evil story on her that may or may not be true, but it's going to tear her down because you're going to have those kids out there going to school that have privy information to this subject, and they're going to tear into her, and that's not fair. That's not fair to her at all. Then you have me, you know, she going around here lying in social media and in the media about she didn't have this what do you call it, surprise release of a video sex tape when she was behind it as well. She knew and took part in it just to get that coin. I mean, what kind of mother would do that? You know what I'm saying? And we had issues about that being on the show. And she, you know, she was just all about this money, this greed. And I'm like, okay, we already have this Bermuda Triangle between the three of them anyway. First, it was them fighting over Stevie. Then, come to find out, after a season or so ago, we found out that Mimi, Joseline, and Stevie had a, you know, a twist in the bed, you know, a menage a trois. So I'm like, if y'all all into these type of antics anyway, would it not be so hard to believe that you could have done this to your daughter? Could this stuff be true, what Joseline is saying? You know what I'm saying? Ugh, it just really gets on my nerves, and it's very, very disturbing. We're going to send prayers out for this family and definitely get Eva under some correct guidance that she's going to need, because to me, Mimi has definitely portrayed herself in the media and how she's conducting herself with all her businesses, being so much entertained in the entertainment business and all this course that goes with it. She's not paying attention to her daughter. And that's just a sad state of events. So somebody else is also raising her child, because she's really hardly not there, because we're seeing her taping on this show continuously. Then she's, you know, out in Hollywood doing stuff. So how can you be raising your daughter, baby girl? How could you be doing this? So I'm just, I'm kind of fed up with pretty much all of them at this point. Then the interview or the article goes on to say, meanwhile, Nanny has come forward and claimed that she was fired by Eva's mother, Mimi Foss, who actually is Lena James, which is actually her aunt. Mimi Foss is her niece. That's her niece, dropping dime on her now. She says, after being fired from Mimi Foss, she saw redness in her daughter's Eva's private area. The alleged nanny is also being called Mimi's niece on social media. The alleged former nanny and Mimi's alleged niece, who goes by the Instagram name Miss Lena James, says, tell the truth at Mimi Foss about how you have known for almost 2 years, probably more, about what has been going on with Eva and Hitman Stevie J, about how you fired me from working as your nanny around the same time as you released that sex tape, which you continued to lie to me about, even though I am your family and was living in the same house with you when all this was going on. Shockingly, the nanny slash niece continued, you basically tried to get rid of me once I was able to get the truth out of Eva when she came home one weekend from her father's house with redness between her legs and having pain urinating. Tell them how you told me about Stevie J getting arrested for child support like it was some kind of justice. Then he was out in a matter of days. Tell them how I helped potty train Eva, got her to eat vegetables, and even try fruit for the first time. I have no reason to lie. According to a source who spoke to gossip site The Shade Room, Mimi allegedly alleged nanny niece is only speaking out because she's angry she got fired. Mimi's niece got fired for stealing Mimi's credit card and making purchases on it to a gym to lose weight. Mimi was nice enough to not call the police. She also burned furniture down in her house as Mimi was out doing an event for the weekend and could have burned her house down. The source added Mimi's last straw was when she got pulled over in a car that Mimi bought her so she could take Eva to school in and run errands, as she was being paid for that. The source concluded she got pulled over while having drugs on her and was pissed because Mimi asked her to leave as she did not know that she was doing drugs in her house and her job was to take care of an infant. She could have easily gone to jail for everything she did, but as a family member, she just sent her home. So, like I said, it's very big size, a lot of sides of everybody's story, and the truth is lying somewhere in the middle. But like I said, if in fact, and child protective services definitely should come in, they definitely should examine Mrs. Evil, just because of the fact that it was allegedly done, and we don't know, because kids are going to always love their parents regardless. They're gonna know something was wrong and it shouldn't be done that way, but that's gonna be later on in that downward spiral this little girl allegedly may go through if all of this is true. So, like I said, everybody's at fault in the situation, because if you didn't get, meaning I'm talking to Leonard James, if you didn't get fired for, Mimi just throwing you out, would you have opened up your mouth, or would it still been a cover up going on that you're helping to protect? So I got a problem with that too. So I think all of them need to be up in there taking polygraph tests. Child protective services should be definitely be put in place. Check Miss Eva out, making sure everything's kosher. And if not, all of the asses need to go to jail. Every last one of them, including Mona Scott James, if she had any foreknowledge of it, and just shut all this crap down with the entertainment business with showing love in hip hop Atlanta. It should just come to a screeching halt, because it doesn't make sense when you start having reality shown on TV, and it's supposed to be a reality show, and then you're introducing stuff of this nature of kids being involved, getting hurt, and that's part of the rituals that you go through when you're in that realm of the entertainment business. If you're higher up, they sacrifice children, women, men, whatever they cause. You know what I'm saying? They did it back in the biblical days. They're going to continue to do it. And it's a shame. And if anytime you have to hurt children, really anybody, to conjure up beasts and this, that, and the other, it's wrong. It's a form of witchcraft. It's wrong. It's wrong against humanity as a human race. So that's all I got. Very disappointed in all couples that are involved, which is Mimi, Stevie J, Joseline, and the niece. Uh, and like I said, any other players that are in this allegedly thing that may have happened. But all of them have very questionable backgrounds. Except for Jocelyn, to tell you the truth, because we already knew she came from meager beginnings. We already knew she was, a stripper person working at a club, trying to make that change and whatnot. We already knew she had a dysfunctional family, so she never kept any of that a secret, and she never made like she was this wholesome type person. That's why I am pretty much leaning towards her being telling the truth about the situation, because Stevie and Joss, I mean Mimi, all of them have like made themselves like they were just good as apple pie. The nice mother, the nice father, and had no blemishes on their records. But then every so often stuff will leak out, and then they have to come defend themselves and admit that yeah, it was true after a lot of controversy that has went on through it. So, you know, if I was a betting woman, I would bet on Jocelyn's telling the whole god dogged truth about everything. It's just a shame because she's just as guilty with the whole predicament. So she must pay as well. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm disappointed, like I said. I will keep y'all updated as things, touch my spirit to try to come out and let you know about a certain issue of people that I had thought one good thoughts about and thought they were pretty good people. But when they show me something different, yeah, I have to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? So all this is my perspective. I will leave the links into all the sources that I had got the information from. And of course, some of them are very legit sources, because when you have allegedly stuff coming out like this, they can get sued. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to risk that. So they would have to kind of pretty much put everything, in writing, and let you know where you got these sources from. Because, like I said, you could get sued from some of this kind of stuff. But Jocelyn has always been upfront with her stuff. And, sometimes people do some crazy things and they try to discredit when they are actually telling the truth about stuff, but it has put you in that frame of mind like, okay, well, she lied about this, she lied about that. Well, I'm not going to, take too much into that. But like I said, Joseline has been producing receipts and, not deleting shit off her Twitter accounts, just letting them be up there. And, she's just a woman that's going to stand in her shit, whether it stinks or whether, it smells good like roses. I don't care. The other stuff, Mimi has not come out for it and produced any receipts, nor Stevie, so that it is what it is. You just have to take up what you feel, what it could not be, and, go from there. But that was just my spin on it. And like I said, if anything else come up that's relevant, other than what I've already given you all, I will speak back on it again. But do I think Stevie's into the elite circle or a puppet for the entertainment industry? Yes, I do. Because of, like I said, you have to study some of this stuff when it comes to the coats and, their hand signals, their colors that they wear, and things that they do out the normal to try to make it a normacy type of behavior when it's not. And that's all I got, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my perspective. As always, coming in and hoping I have something good to tell you. I try to make it interesting. I don't want to put myself always on camera. I like y'all to see what I'm talking about and have visuals and, have some receipts to go along with what I'm saying so y'all can make y'all own determination about the story. But like I said, keep them all in prayer because we don't really know per se. We can only have our opinions, our speculations, and we can voice our opinions of what we feel, which is not taken away or adding to, what's going on. It's just your thoughts and your thoughts only. And if you have proof to back it up, reliable or reliable, credible sources, then you have something that you're not giving to the public or the masses. You're not giving them just hearsay stuff. You're actually giving them, hey, this is where this is. This is the reference I had, and they're reputable. Because if not, they would be sued. I mean, I would sue somebody definitely if they were slandering my name and putting out false stuff. If I could, if I had a legit case, and a lawyer would take it, and they would get their money from the back end, unless I was rolling like that, and I just go have my lawyer on retainer and say, handle this, see what we can do about this. Wouldn't be trying to get no little people because they just pretty much getting into it and trying to get their own perspectives, but the people that actually broke the story and, the people that are damaging them with what they're saying, the actual players that caused this whole story to come out. Those are the people I'm talking about going to get. But like I said, it's a very interesting story. I would definitely continue to keep my eye on it because, like I said, I liked it, these two together, Stevie and Joseline, just to see the whole Splitsville come to pass. Well, whether they were married or not, that could just be hyped up to produce the show. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? They were a couple still in my eyes that were kind of like, I wouldn't say invincible, but they were major players where people love to see them together, love to see their antics. And it was like drama feel, but in an okay way. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they were going out there shooting, killing folks and all this and that. They was just really just being ratchet. And it was good for, a laugh or two at what they were doing, not at them personally. You know what I'm saying? Because I never would laugh at somebody's when they're down or out or they're going through some stuff. No, I would be there laughing with them, not at them. So that's what I feel about this, y'all. Get in them comments. Tell me what y'all think. I would love to hear, you all's perspectives. But, don't come for me for us anything with, because like I said, I was am, because I'm still am. I like them both, but if something comes out to the fact that they did have some part into hurting Eva, then yeah, that's my stance. I will not, take my video down. I will not engage with anybody else saying, you shouldn't feel this way. This should no. All their asses need to go to jail. Every last one of them. If they hurt that little girl, every last one of them, and then some that are not being talked about that knew about it, all of them need to go to jail too and burn in hell if at all possible before, the Lord can get to them. That's just how I feel because I don't think nobody should be hurting no children. They didn't ask to come here, so they shouldn't be treated like, animals or discarded or done any kind of way. It's already making me mad, y'all. So I'm going to end it on that note. Y'all be blessed. Keep all of these people in prayer. And if they are in that satanic realm, let it be broke free, that they can, look back to the Lord and Savior, Yeshua, and the Father to get them straightened out. Okay, that's all I got, y'all. Peace and blessings. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.